It's Friday morning. It is -3 at 9:30 in the morning, and I'm going on a hike. The weather hung in there. The beautiful Thursday that I thought I was going to get, and then did get and missed, has turned into the same for Friday. So yeah, I'm going on a hike. I'm sat in the car at the moment, just warming up the engine so I can defrost, because it's thick frost all the way around all the windows. You can see from there, look, those windows not looking good. I am going to a place that I've been to before. I'm doing a revisit to Gambleside, and if you go over to my walking channel, you can see my previous video where I did the first Gambleside walk. This time I'm going to try and get to some of the other derelict properties that I didn't find last time, because sometimes you need to do that first visit to familiarise yourself and understand the lay of the land. And now that I've done that, I've plotted out all the others, so I'm going to try and find some of those. The weather looks like it's going to be lovely, blue sky and sun predominantly, but very cold. I've got all my layers on. The proper winter coat is out, the hat's out, I've got gloves in my bag, I've got my hiking boots, etc, etc. So I'm going to get organised, just wait for this to warm up enough so that those windows will defrost. Got my little scraper, and yeah, then I'm going to head off, and I shall do my usual, record it all for my channel here, and yeah, see you there. Really frosty this morning. I think we've just reached 0 degrees. It was -3 this morning. And it was a bit of a push to get me out. But I'm here. At least it's not muddy, because the mud is like concrete. So today I am going to have a look at some of the old properties, if I can get to them, that I didn't get to last time because there was a lot to do, and some of them are scattered quite far out, and I couldn't do them all in one day. But I think I'm going to focus on getting to, say, 3 properties. There are more than that, but 3 will be enough. It is absolutely beautiful out here today, and wrapped up in all the right layers. As long as you keep moving, you'll stay warm. So I'm going to go the opposite way round the reservoir to last time, so I can pick up the route I need. There's a lot of ice around today. Wow. I can't tell if that's frost or snow on the hills. I mean, I think that's really, really thick frost. Look at that ice. There's the Clobridge Reservoir. Like a mill pond. It's so still. There's a small group of ducks on the water there that look like tufted ducks. I can't quite tell, they're quite far away. Other tufted ducks or golden eyes out there in the distance. Imagine the people that were living here when these houses that I'm looking for were standing. And, you know, we're talking like 16th century right through to the Victorian period, and how hard it would have been. I don't know how different the weather would have been in November back then, whether there would have been a lot more snow, or it would have been colder or warmer, who knows. But this would have been a tough life. So we're going to follow this path to the left, and we're going to follow it up to that clump of trees at the top, and then I think we're going to brow round to the left. There's a path somewhere up there which takes you to one of the properties. Ice. Whoops, almost went over. That's really slippery. Wow. So we're going to try and get through these sheep. They'll be very impressed that I'm here, I'm sure. Oh, we can go this way. Avoid the sheep. It's alright, sheeps. There we go. Now we're on some nice grassy path. Less ice. Someone has a wood fire burning somewhere in the distance, and the smell is wonderful. It adds a real layer of history to what I'm doing today, because everyone would have had wood fires back in the day before coal, and then they would have had coal. That low sun is very warming. I feel quite warm now already. Creates a lot of lens flare though. So when I last came, this was the first house I found. This was the main house for Gambleside. I think it was called Gambleside Manor. See the remains of enclosures around the property there, just here. And I think if I follow this path, I'll eventually reach the remains of another property. I'm going to have to keep referring to my maps though. should be a property here on the left, and I'm walking amongst rubble. There's all sorts of stonework here. Doesn't look like a wall, because there's a very neat wall there. So this may be where the house was. And there's a very nice looking fence up there, a wall up there as well. And there's stone here as well. Yeah, this looks like a house, or the remains of a property. There's some very long stones that look like lintels. So I think this was probably it. And this view wouldn't have looked like this back then, because this reservoir wouldn't have been there. That would have all been ground, grazing land. Let's go down and have a look at these stones, because they look quite interesting actually. Somebody or something's already walked down here, so that you can see this is dressed stone, look. Oh yes, look at that. It's all very edged. This farm was called Long Biggin Farm. And if I find any history on it, I will put it up here. There's some more over there. And very long sections of stone here. And then there are clumps of stone like this, which was probably from walls. Where it's just been left in piles. Following this long line of brick or stone. May have represented one of the walls of the house. So we're back up on the main track now. And you can see the piles of stone there. It was quite a big house, I would imagine. There's lots of scattered stone. So we're going to follow this path up and round to the right. Path up here, we'll take this one. Get us to our destination a bit quicker. head up here. To my left here is the memorial woodland which I visited last time, or looked at the edges of. Look at this view. Lovely. Could just be the remains of a wall. It's not showing up on my dropped pins. If I keep going this way, there is a house up the top here somewhere. I think that I prefer hiking in this weather to the hot weather. Hot weather's great for not having to wear so many layers, but then you get really hot and sweaty and you get sunstroke or sunburnt, which is not good. But this is really rather spectacular. Lovely. Splendid pylon. There's hardly any bird life up here. The trees are pretty much devoid of berries now, so I would imagine that birds passing through on their migration or wherever they're heading off to have done their bit and left. I can hear crows. I've heard a couple of blackbirds, but not an awful lot else going on here. I'm following the designated route, which looks like the old, probably part of the old pack horse route. I'm not sure exactly. But there's lots of stone here. As I say, this is the Green Hill Walk. I just heard a nuthatch up ahead. This is lovely. Hoping that I'm heading in the right direction. I'm not entirely sure. I mean, I can't get lost, it's a designated route, but I don't know where this next house is. I think it's off to the right somewhere, so I'm hoping there is another track, or that this bows right round to the right and I can pick it up from there. There's a very smart wall on the right there. I love these walls. Let's get some photographs while we're here. I'm still sort of heading in the right direction, although I think the house is off to the left somewhere. So we'll have to see. It looks like there is some kind of monument up ahead. And I think I know what the monument is. I've forgotten its name though. I'll put it up here when we get there. That looks icy, I'm not going down there. I will end up going flying if I try and cross that ice. Look at this. So there should be a house along here somewhere on that stretch, and then according to my map there is a path along here that you can walk. I think I can see it, but I don't want to stray off the beaten track where I'm not supposed to be walking. So the one to the right I can walk because I can see hikers in the distance walking it. So I'm going to try that one. Oh, I can see someone walking there, right, so I can walk that one as well. So let's go this way first. Now I have seen hikers walking this, I feel okay about going this way, although it doesn't say no entry. Now, is it that way or is it this way? There are two options here. I think I'm going to go to the left because I feel like it's going to get me towards where the house is. And now I can see people walking up there as well, so this is obviously a safe track. Now that looks like a house. Well, this is definitely a building. This looked like quite a long walk on the map, and then when you get down on the ground and you're actually doing the steps, you find that these places were relatively close together. Oh, look at that. Now, this property is Hyde Farm, and the information that I have on this says that it dates to around 1668, and in fact, if you look at the stone, it's quite different to a lot of the other stone. Look at that. Think of all the lives that were lived here and all the generations that were born and died in this house. Even a little cellar. Look at the wood in that. think that these properties were occupied up until after the reservoir came into being, and then it all started to fizzle out. So this being dated 1668 isn't how long it's been in rubble. Look at that. Hard to get a real feeling for what this house looked like. You can see bits of walls, but you can't really get a feel for the size or the scope of it, which is a shame. Walk along here a little bit because there are a lot of walls up here as well which look too big to be fences. Oh, it's very wet here. Oh gosh. Careful along there. The way there's ferns growing through that wall. There are a lot of stone walls here. There's a bit of a gate post there. They could be fancy boundary walls. These properties would have had enclosed areas around them, like almost like gardens. But like here, that does not look like. This could be enclosure areas for sheep and cattle. I'll see if I can find any layouts or descriptions of the property, because it looks quite big, this one. This apparently is the Limey Valley Walk. Now there's a little, what looks like a little window in that wall. So I don't know if this is all property. Some of this looks like property, some of it looks like dry stone walls. It's an interesting combination. I'll do some research on that. If I keep walking this way, I'm going to end up getting way off my track. So I'm going to turn around and go back the way I came, get back to that crossroads, cross over, and then find the next property that I wanted to have a look at. So unfortunately, the battery has run out on my camera. I have brought the power pack with me, but I hadn't realised how low the battery had got. I was going to plug it in at about 50%, and then it got down to 12%, and I hadn't even realised, and now it's shut itself off. So I've got it plugged in, but I don't suppose I'm going to get enough charge out of it to be able to use it. So I'm just recording this bit as I walk to the next house. I don't really want to use my phone because obviously if I need it for emergencies I don't want to flat the battery. So I'm just going to take some photographs along the way, and I'll do some sort of narration over the top once I get back. There we go. I think this is the remains of the colliery, which I hadn't seen last time, which was the pit head where they were digging coal, I guess. I'll put some information up here to show you. Not a lot left of this either. So I am just heading back to the car now. My power pack has added enough charge to my camera that it's now working again, now that I'm almost back at the car. After my camera died, I followed the track back and went looking for the next farm. I got stuck kind of along the way. There were two farmers with quad bikes and sheepdogs gathering in the sheep. And I don't know if that's because there's supposed to be snow coming. But anyway, so I seemed to be on the trail that the sheep wanted to use, and they all kind of stopped and looked at me. And so I started to walk back to get out of their way, but they seemed to find a way round. So I just stood and watched them all doing their thing for a bit. I couldn't find the farm I was looking for. There was no obvious trail towards it, and of course at this time of year and with all the snow that was up there, it's really hard to see any of the trails or any signs. So some of these houses are quite obvious and some of them you can hardly see at all. So I couldn't find that one, and then I kind of carried on along the trail, and then there was a very noticeable right turn which I needed, otherwise I was going to end up miles from where I needed to be. And I followed that trail down and I came to the colliery. So that was good, because the colliery I hadn't seen before, I hadn't got to it. So that was another one. So I managed to find, I think, 3 properties today. I'm really pleased I came out and did this walk. I was unenthusiastic in the morning when I woke up because it's so cold, and so I don't mind mornings in the summer when it's nice and warm and lovely, but when it's like 12 degrees indoors because I haven't got the heating on, and it's like freezing, and it was -3 when I first got up this morning outside. But once you're out and layered up, and in fact I think I prefer walking these trails now rather than in the summer, because in the summer you get hot and sweaty and sunburnt, and I'm just layered up and I'm warm. So I feel like I've really achieved today. This is something I really wanted to do before the end of the year, and I've done it. And I found some things. So a little history tour for you. Hopefully I've provided you with some interesting information. And now I'm just going to walk back down to the car park, which I'm nearly at, and warm up. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that was interesting. Do leave your comments and your likes, it's always helpful. We are very, very, very niche, small channel, and that's fine. We don't expect it to be anything other than that, but I do like to catalogue these little walks as I go, because they're interesting and not everybody can get to them, so I like to provide a little bit of interest to people who can't get to places like I'm at. So hope you enjoyed that, and speak to you soon. Bye bye. So I am back at the car. That was invigorating, I think is the phrase I would use for that. It is 1:30, and you can already feel that the sun is starting to go down. That was an amazing hike. I'm so pleased I did that. It's blown out a few cobwebs. And I was nice and toasty warm in all my layers, which was good. So I brought some grapes with me. So I'm going to have a few grapes. I have my water. And then I'm going to head home. Oh, I bet my grapes are cold. It's very snowy up there. I thought at first it was frost, but the higher you got, you knew it was snow. And although it hasn't snowed up here for probably a few days, it's cold enough to keep it snowy, and the ice was so thick. So I'm really pleased about that. I might not get another day like this to go out and hike, because very often the nice days when I would go out and hike are days when I'm working or have other commitments I have to do. Right, I'm going to get the heater on in the car. I'm going to head home.